Our academic and applied esports program provides our competitive gamers a national stage to compete with other Division One universities. Our academic objective allows us to use esports to foster innovative, interdisciplinary connections.
Esports right now is an ever-expanding career field, and having the opportunity to showcase its many facets through education is really inspiring.
Where are you going? The known path or your own path? Iona College is where you'll be given the means to dream and find meaning in your dreams. To serve while you learn and learn while you serve. To fight the good fight and to own your path. So, where are you going? Iona College. Learn outside the lines.
Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC. My name is Keela Miles, joined once again by Soy, as we are getting into our second match of the day. We have maybe the heaviest hitting match we have all day. Up-and-coming Iona College. They've been so close to some wins, but haven't been able to close it out, taking on the well-established, well-acquainted William and Mary.
Yeah, no, this has the makings of a fun one because William and Mary, their one loss this season, they're 4-1 overall this year. Their one loss is to DePaul, who is, like we said, just a monster in the EGF. And William and Mary, basically keeping pace with them, just that one small loss. And Iona at 2-3. Their 2 wins have been massive. Their point differential is still positive despite having a losing record. So all the makings of a fun matchup here as we get ready for game 1.
Yeah, and it's looking like the team captain Kibbs going to be starting out running right into North volleyball, but that's not going to be too much of a problem as Kibbs looking to kind of slow the pace of the game down until they figure out the opening onto North, and then they're looking to punish hard, but the Nair in the back here is going to give them a hard punish. Look at that. Up tilt on shield, not going to do squat. As you get grabbed by the deep breathing Wii Fit trainer, North not going to even trade at all. They get the back hitbox to that forward tilt right there. Oh my god. They're just going at it.
Yeah, Kibbs had a little bit of a deficit, but like you said, once Kibbs finds that one opening, he could easily make this all back. The problem is North is so good at playing defensive at times. I remember way back in the first week, he was surviving up to 200% at times, but won't have that opportunity. There he finds the forward tilt on the ledge to clean up that first stock, so North with an early lead.
Yeah, as look at the bury right there, but no real follow-up. Kibbs right now really fishing for the up tilt, and you can't blame them, but you've got to get the follow-up when you get the opportunity, as you actually trade with the Wii Fit recovery off stage. Kibbs is able to get back into this, though, keeping North bobbled up on that platform and shaking up that situation. Up tilt, not going to lead into much, but they catch the air dodges, the frame trap for the kill from Kibbs.
Smart play there from Kibbs. Like he said, throw out that first back air, read the air dodge, and get that frame trap, like you said, to clean up that stock. But now you got to find a way to survive, and you're not going to be able to survive against that forward air. North answering right back.
Yeah, this is where it could get a little hairy for them, but sticking with it for now. I mean, Falco can just kind of explode, especially near the top of the stage, but not able to carry him up with the up airs. The aerial drift not quite there from Falco, not able to follow you all the way across, but that's a nice little harassment tool. The shine just gets in your head. The reflector blinking all over the place, and of course it's frame 1, and ooh! Now it can be a little tricky. I mean, Falco's a combo machine, as you can see, 22% already, but that one hit is all North needs to connect. But if you're fishing for that one hit, oh! You could find yourself in a world of hurt as North from downtown is able to finish them off.
what a snipe from North, from downtown, like you said, way out in the bubble, too. I mean, kind of an uncharacteristic SD there from North off stage, and you think, okay, Kibbs has a chance here, and then North gets one opening, sends him off stage, and cleans it up like that. That's just fantastic stuff to North to get that first game. But like you saw, Kibbs, I think this is an interesting type of matchup because Kibbs is the type of player, he likes to play these rushdowns, right? He likes Falco, Captain Falcon, Pyra Mithra, the ones that just, they are up in your face, constantly pressuring you. And North is sort of the opposite of that, where he likes to play that slower game, chip away at you time and time again, and just make these stocks last. And so I feel like this typically kind of, it's pendulum-esque, where this could be, like you saw, very, very tightly contested, where it comes down to last stock, or the play style for one player or the other just kind of runs away. Whoever just enforces their play style more ends up, I think, with a larger lead.
Yeah, as it felt like Kibbs was in it towards the end more than, or honestly more towards the middle. They had some nice stuff at the end, but North was able to bring it back with just one stray hit. And that's the issue with going down first. We bring it up 1,000 times. But when you're playing from behind, it doesn't matter how much you put together. Sometimes you just get bodied as Kibbs goes over to the Captain Falcon.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this switch. I mean, I did like the laser to kind of contest with some projectiles, but for Captain Falcon, I think the combo game, the way Kibbs wants to play, I think it's a little bit cleaner on his Captain Falcon than his Falco. So we'll see if he can get a lot cleaner conversions onto this Wii Fit, especially on a triplat here like Yoshi's Story.
As you can see, looking for that initial damage, but they're only getting the stray hit, but there's the down air you want. Reading a hard option, though. That's the thing. When you're on Captain Falcon, Kibbs has called it out before. They want to swing. The swing batter. Ooh. Don't get hit. That's the kind of thing that makes it scary. Right there. Avoiding the soccer ball, and now the jab on the platform is going to send you off stage. Oh. Up easy enough to save Kibbs' life. As North really maintains a strong lead there. You have to use the burst option to contest with the soccer ball, but that's not something they're going to get away with every time, as they go for it a second time, shielded and punished.
Yeah, and it feels like Kibbs is just kind of pulling the trigger really early on a lot of these moves. He gets North off stage, and twice we've seen him go for jump down air, and the spacing of it has just been a little bit off, and then like you saw, that Falcon kick in neutral to kind of look through for a breakthrough gets punished accordingly after repeated use.
Yeah, as look at this, they're able to get that soccer ball. Dash dance in place. Don't want to give up too much stage control, and again, the precision, the spikes, not the traditional kind. Well, they went for it there. But every single time they send that soccer ball off stage, the header hits home. As Kibbs, it's kind of getting in their head at this point. The helmet doing nothing to prevent the constant rain of soccer balls coming down. I mean, it feels like North just has complete control of the entire stage. And even on a triplat like Yoshi's Stories, the ladder combos are not enough to make up for the fact that Captain Falcon just doesn't have room to move.
Yeah, and I mean, of the 100, oh, good spike there from Kibbs. Oh, he dipped too low though.
Let's work on your coordination.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. As, yeah, that is going to be, well, at the moment, William and Mary up 5-0. And even though they kept it close in the beginning, it felt like North was kind of getting in their head towards the end. And while I don't mind the switch at all, well, it can be just going to a new character like that and then immediately realizing it wasn't the right one. It can just demolish your mental. And you could see they tried to recover towards the end, but, well, they tried to recover towards the end and it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it felt like Falco had better options, especially for North's projectiles in particular. I mean, even on that last stock, of the 120-ish% that Kibbs was at, I think 80 of it or 90 of it was through soccer balls. They just constantly getting hit by them as Kibbs is looking for that kind of home run swing. And he finally found it in the spike, but dipped a little bit too low and didn't have his jump, couldn't recover in time. So North gets a well-deserved victory, but it felt like Kibbs, it felt like like you said, the pressure just kind of got to him and couldn't hold on long enough to give himself a shot in this set.
Yeah, and with Kibbs out of the picture, I mean, I don't think Kibbs, as the captain, is even the heaviest hitter, and that's an interesting one, but it's still kind of brutal, as we've got Outer Rim coming in next. And Outer Rim could just get a massive lead. I mean, at times they have gotten the double 3 stock. They've gotten the 8 points on the board. It's going to be a little tougher against Moat. Now, Moat, I've hailed them as one of the most consistent players in the entirety of the EGFC. If you've been watching these Iona games, you know Moat comes in and they hit 3 strings. 0 to 40, 40 to 80, 80 to dead. They catch you with a down tilt ledge, you're dead. They catch you with go, you're at 60%, you're dead. But it's finding those openings that has proved to be a struggle, especially against characters who can really make you work for those openings. Outer Rim on the Robin, they can definitely make you work.
Yeah, these are two of the, I think, most successful players on both of these rosters going into this second set. I mean, Outer Rim currently 4-0 on the season. I mean, and even last year, Outer Rim's record 13-2 throughout the entirety of the regular season. And Moat here, like you saw, and like you've been saying, he's kind of emerged as one of the big names on this roster at 3-2. And his Terry, his Kazuya have looked very clean so far this year. And it's also, I think, worth noting too that, we talk about how teams like to try and hold on to players sometimes in a matchup. You want to leave that anchor spot for one of your top players in case the match is close. Iona, I think, have sort of this counter logic strategy where they say, let's throw our heaviest hitters in sets 1, 2, and 3. Let's try and end this match early. So for William and Mary, it's almost like trying to weather the storm of Iona. And so far, they were able to do so in that first set.
Ooh. I thought that was a button check for a minute, but Outer Rim was perfectly happy to wait around. Oh, maybe it is a button check. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, but either way, Moat, we sent off the side right there. I'm wondering if this is just a mix-up thing or if Moat is actually pulling out the Ken. It's definitely in their wheelhouse, being that they've been playing Terry and Kazuya, and I feel like Ken is just a whole nother level of kill confirms and pressure. I don't think Ken has quite the consistency that Terry does, or the earth-shattering combos that Kazuya does, but Ken just, I mean, it's the touch of death. Like, but not in the Kazuya sense either. Like, Ken really does feel like he carries you across the stage and does work, whereas Kazuya, it feels a little more hyper-specific what he does at times.
Yeah, and like you said, it does, like you said, feel like Ken is in the wheelhouse. And for a matchup like this, I wonder if he takes it for, like, I don't know if it would clash, but just the projectile, just something to deal with the range, because that's the struggle of fighting in characters, right? The range, the projectile game is something that is really difficult for them. So they did end up switching back to Terry, but that's going to be, I think, the name of the game is Outer Rim. Can he keep Terry at bay? Can he keep him away for long enough to close out those stocks, or will Moat find a way in?
Yes. They're immediately getting... they're trying to get their openings, but Outer Rim has just been one step ahead. Drifting back, But they're running out of stage to drift back too, but off the ledge, they're just as dangerous. Pressuring with the stage 11 sword aerials. It's so tough, but once you throw out the regular nair, it's an opening. 0 to 40. There's the first one. The first execution test failed. To go for the down tilt, it's not going to connect as they're able to get more. 0 to 70. 40 to 70. This is what I'm talking about Moat. They get these, now you just need to find the kill confirm. And I feel like now that Outer Rim understands what they're going for, now that it's even, it's going to be a little harder, but the jab power dunk sends Outer Rim off.
Now Outer Rim off stage. Ooh, that was dangerous, but he's going to be able to get away. Doesn't have the Levin sword ready, but now it is. There's the follow-up on the nair, able to take that stock.
Oh, but the drain right there. That's going to hurt Moat a decent bit. As they go for the ledge trap now, fishing for that down tilt, but too much respect to really go for that right away. You need to get a better read for Outer Rim's ledge options. As Outer Rim really just buying time at the moment. Levin sword online. They're going to try and land with that, but they don't quite turn that the right way. And even with the jab up B, because of that drain earlier, that's not going to kill yet.
Yeah, that was huge too, but this should be an opening. Is that the stock? No, down B won't quite take it yet. Outer Rim surviving to 160. And like you said, just buying a lot of time for himself. Could be an opening. Gets out of dodge with that roll.
And now, jabs at ledge, but the DI up to avoid it. Eventually, it's just a raw side B, and that's not the Moat Classic. Living to 160, that's almost unbelievable. But they're able to even it up almost right away. Trying to control this grounded game with the fresh shoot, but these full ups over the arc fires might be called out soon. I'm thinking they might be Thor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's something Outer Rim could catch up on, and now go online. It was important that last stock. Oh, didn't get the Buster Wolf to follow up, and now he's in trouble. I don't think he has his jump available. Good air dodge around that nair, though.
Nice. Get the down air right there. Go up being online, though, means this could turn around. Now you don't have to worry about it, though. Go out of the picture. Now we're back on the Moat's ledge trapping. Because they got caught by that Arc Thunder into the Arc Fire, they've eaten 56%. They get the jab side B at the or down tilt side B, rather. Is it too late, though? Is Outer Rim running away with this? The parry isn't enough. You get one, you get two. The ladder slowly burns you up, melting its way through your defenses. Moat isn't done yet. The landing air beats it out. They're able to jump over it again, but like I said, this full hop's starting to be called out. Go, the comeback mechanic. It's your last option. Down tilt right there. Into the Are You Okay? 74% right now for Moat. And they get the power guys right. Ledge. Outer Rim's not ready. And now the top, they go flying. Spinning away to their doom.
Comeback from Moat there. I mean, that was incredible. You felt like Outer Rim, had control of the pace of that matchup throughout the entirety of it. But that is the power of Terry's Go being online. All that extra damage, all that extra knockback, and just so much coverage too. And that was the key, right? Through the first two stocks, Outer Rim was able to just mitigate Go. The second Terry was over 100%, he would read a defensive option, catch a jump, something along those lines, and it would be off the table, and he would have to struggle to find a kill elsewhere. But the second he could not get that clean conversion, the second he couldn't clean up the stock, Moat finds his one opening, and it gets him back into the match.
Yeah, and that one opening, I can't believe how brutal it was, Soy. It was instant, the capitalization going all the way in. I mean, whew. I feel like it's got to get in your head a little bit, especially because there wasn't even a kill screen at the end, so they weren't expecting the immediate power geyser. But sometimes you've got to be. Terry players, they play around Go. It's like how Lucario players are inexplicably so good in last hit, last stock situations because that's where they get all of their mileage. Not exactly the same case for Terry, because Terry has stuff outside of Rage, but they are way more comfortable in that situation than you are, and you have to be playing around that. as Outer Rim, one of the heaviest hitters, is down a game right now against this Rising Star Moat.
And it's few and far between that that Outer Rim has dropped a game. So just earning a single point is a huge victory for Iona. And if they can find a way to take this set, that could be massive for the momentum of this team. They got a little bit of a percent lead here in game number 2.
And using the power dunk means that Outer Rim doesn't always have an opportunity to come in for a punish. Even if they hit the arc fire, it still means that you're getting caught. The down tilt pressure at ledge, but don't go for a third one. Instead gets the grab. Outer Rim remains off stage until the side B finishes them off. Moat up 3 stocks to 2.
And part of me wonders if the playstyle is just kind of getting in Outer Rim's head. He's just trying to play so careful that he's not playing his own game. He's playing to Moat's playstyle.
I don't know. I feel like Moat is one step ahead. It's like Outer Rim figures out how to deal with the defense, and Moat just comes in a little earlier, or they come in a little later. And Terry's options are so non-committal until you go for that big hit that it's easy to mix it up, especially online, as the power dunk from across stage. That has been an approach option this time. We didn't see that at all last game. Another mix-up from Moat. But getting the drain right there, that's a good evener until Moat gives you the percents right back through the kickback.
We've got to play so careful around this ledge. You saw the side B startup, but those projectiles, those are something that Moat is going to have to find a way to deal with, because Outer Rim, just those quick little neutral Bs are doing so much work. Is that the stock? Yes, it is. And now Outer Rim up a stock and putting Moat on his last, but quickly answered again. The side B at ledge, so dangerous.
Yeah, you have to be ready for that call out right there. Is just like that. One nair and percents are even. But Outer Rim, they've made comebacks like this before. But after, again, that diagonal approach angle is making Robin's life so hard. But the inferno that they put Moat through, I have a feeling Moat's not too happy about that one. The jabs at ledge, though, they just want to get the finisher. They're not even trying to play for go right now. If you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. As they spot dodge through it, and then they roll back into it. Go is exactly online. Exactly at 100% right now. It's never been more perfect. But Outer Rim knows if you let them land, it's an invitation. And they're not extending that one to Moat this time. Pulling up the drawbridge and sending Moat to a game 3 where they have to figure out a new way through Outer Rim's defenses.
Yeah, that was dangerous, and I don't know what's going on with my camera there, but anyways, yeah, no, that's it was very close there, and I think you're right. Moat was doing a good job of kind of reacting to each situation first, but I do gotta commend Outer Rim again for being able to clean up stocks. Right, we talked about how important Go was in the last set, and in this one too. Outer Rim is still able to mitigate a lot of that kill power. And like you said, once Terry is up in the air, it's so difficult for him to get back to the ground. And it's something Moat has done a decent job of through game 1. But in game 2, especially towards the end there, Outer Rim did a better job of cleaning that up.
Yeah, and playing hot potato with Terry is, I think, a very crucial thing. Because Go, when you have Go, you can only use it on the ground. And so, even if it's subconscious, even if you're aware of it, there is something in the back of Terry players' minds of, I need to land, I need to land, I need to hit a go, I need to hit land, I need to land, I need to land, I need to get to the ground. And Outer Rim was able to exploit that very well, Soy. It felt like as soon as Go came online, that's why they were able to beat it out so many times before. It wasn't the first time we saw Go come online. I mean, 100% is not exactly hard to live on, but towards the end, it wasn't as clean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other part I have to commend Outer Rim for is the management of the spells and books. It's something that's in the back of every Robin player's mind, but especially in that last stock, Levin's sword comes offline and Terry reaches go percent, and you got to be thinking, okay, well now how am I going to get the kill? All of my strong aerials are off the table for a little bit. but it never feels like Outer Rim panics when when that utility is off the table. It feels like he does a decent job of coming up with an answer, or at least stalling out until he can get that playstyle or those icons back online.
As right away. Going to be a little bit tougher for Moat. You can see Moat keeping Outer Rim at ledge, and this is honestly the most even this has started out before, but going a little off stage, that was an opportunity right there, but Legend Sword almost completely exhausted right here. The jab will send Moat up. Now they've got the sword, it's their turn to play, but they don't get much mileage off of it after some pressure. Outer Rim just leading them on a breadcrumb trail around this platform. And they're just getting the better end out of a lot of these trades until the 11 sword up smash will do a hearty chunk of damage.
I love the sneaky side B. The sneaky side B to get back to stage over top of that last hitbox from Outer Rim was big, and now with Go on stage, this is dangerous for Outer Rim.
But like I said, you want to land so badly, but at center stage, a lot easier of a task than just when you're at ledge. Power Geyser, they're not going to catch them this time. They are well adapted. You're not going to be seeing any jumps from ledge. As the spot dodge and up tilt makes Outer Rim a little more scared. You can see how much respect they give to this carry, and you need to. But that gives out Moat a lot of hits for free, it feels like. Oh, the trade? The Power Geyser is going to end up sending Outer Rim off.
Yeah, a wacky trade there, and both stocks off the board because of it, and now big opening here for Outer Rim. Lots of pressure around this corner, but Moat is able to escape.
Yeah, as they get the hard parry punish right there, and they avoid that down B as well. But, I mean, as you can see, it's been stacked up by Moat. 50% just from that one interaction, and now it's gone. You've got Go, but you want a little more than that when you're up there with no jump right now, trying to land into the arc fire. 1-2 right now as Moat, that lead they had is evaporating so fast.
Yeah, he's got to find a way back into this set and quickly, but Outer Rim doing such a good job of making every opening count.
Yeah, they're able to get the tabs at ledge. Is that going to kill? Not quite yet. You want that side B so badly, but nothing sets up into it but the down tilt.
That side B getting a little greedy, and now he's got to find another way back to stage. Good stall out to get back to the ledge. Just really struggling to find that one opening.
Yeah, it's not going to be given out for free. As Outer Rim still holds on to their two stocks. No Go online yet, and we've seen some ridiculous comebacks before, but that time they shield the Power Geyser. Oh! This is doable for Moat, but I don't think Outer Rim has been in these scenarios so often, and they get the follower right there. They understand that diagonal angle.
I got your back.
Yeah. Smart stuff there. Neutral B stunning long enough and getting that forward smash. That was huge for the side of Outer Rim, and that's a lot of points on the board for William and Mary.
Yeah, a lot of points indeed. As that was one of your big chances right there. Last hit, last stock, pretty much every single time except the end. It's brutal to lose that one. So with Moat going down, you've got some definite options. You've got some big hitters, but where do they land the punches? I feel like without the Outer Rim out of the picture, you do have a path to victory. It's not an easy one. It's not a clean one, but it's there. Question is, how are you going to take it?
Yeah, no, and I mean, we talked about it before, how Iona tends to send their heavy hitters in first, and it was going to be a question of if William and Mary could kind of weather the storm of those first couple of rounds, and so far you're seeing they answer with the stars of their own lineup, and they're able to get past those first 2 rounds. But this is why Iona is so fun to watch. They trust the depth in their roster to get the job done. Even if the first 2 rounds don't go their way, they trust that second half of their roster to be able to stack up. So we'll have to see where they go from here. It's not out of the question, but it's a pivotal set 3.
100% so is. I have to expect that. I mean, I don't know who else, but yeah, Yaliso coming in. Yaliso, I think, is one of the last big heavy hitters. If you don't know Yaliso, they play the Miis. They play Sword Fighter, Brawler, but they're most famous for their Gunner. They zip all around, because Mii Gunner's forward air has a strange property where it actually pushes you back. A lot of people have back airs that space themselves, but the forward air is actually kind of tricky. How do you use it? I mean, do you just play a poking game with it? What Yaliso does is turns around, fires the forward air, and rockets towards the opponent at hypersonic speeds, and then punishes them for things they did not expect could be punished by a Mii Gunner. They play at a pace that no one else plays this character at. But if you're able to find your way around the tricky movement, then it becomes a little easier. I mean, it's just unconventional, but it's not unpunishable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yaliso, like you said, is one of the heavy hitters. He's 3-2 on the season, and the Mii Brawler, Mii Gunner type matchups, they are few and far between, right? There's not many of them really out there, especially here in the EGF, and none have quite had the success that Yaliso has had so far. So a key matchup, and really I think for Iona, like you said, Yaliso is one of the trickier players to try and get a handle of, and to have him here in this third set, I think is the perfect spot for him to really thrive, to really show what he can do. I'm very intrigued to see the type of matchup he likes to play too, because like you said, with all that tricky movement, it feels like he also has that kind of varying style. He can play that a little bit more passive with his movement, or he can go all in on some moves. So we'll have to see what he opts for in set number 3.
Yeah, I feel like the mix-up of what you do once you get in, like you said, is the most important thing. Because if you always go for a soft hit, then they're gonna know just shield and punish. If you always go for a big hit, then they're going to know, okay, then we have to outmaneuver it. So it's a little tricky. I mean, with the movement mix-ups, with the down B, with the neutral B, which is the charge shot and mine respectively, there are a lot of options, but they're going up against William and Mary's Dizzy Stylish. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's going to be rough because, of course, Dizzy is one of these key players for William and Mary that has really stepped up this year. Dizzy's 3-2 on the season. Their Bayonetta looks so clean. Recently, they've been opting for Sora, so possibly a character switch there. But I mean, these are two players that these rosters put a lot of emphasis on, and you're seeing me Sword Fighter versus Sora for game number 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, taking them in the straight-up duel, I suppose, as Dizzy is able to keep Yaliso at the ledge for the time being, but not too long, not too long. Yaliso is able to get off eventually, but they're going for just raw approaches. That's all I'm seeing. And that's not the best option for the moment, but they're eventually able to get the down tilt, with the forward air. That's some nice damage, but they're trading, I mean, it's 2 for 1.
Yeah. I will say, though, I feel like the game plan for Yaliso is a little bit more straightforward, and that allows Dizzy to catch that counter and take that first stock off the board.
Very nice stuff so far. You keep it going, though. Dizzy. It feels like they are having a little bit of a hard time tracking down Yaliso in this second stock. Yaliso getting a better feel for the projectiles, and with the tornado, they put Dizzy in a very uncomfortable situation. Not unescapable, though, as the tornadoes at ledge are not going to connect yet. hold on for the time being.
Good back air, and if you're Yaliso at this point, I mean, you're obviously looking for a way to take the stock, but Dizzy has done such a good job of positioning himself well to not really allow for a stray hit anywhere, and I feel like that's what Yaliso is kind of looking for, looking to thrive off of, especially in those past sets where he's looked so dominant.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel as if I'm really not sure. Dizzy living to such a ludicrous percent when Sora is such a light character against a character with such good kill confirms like me, Sword Fighter, where you're fishing for dash down smash. It's brutal. I mean, down 3 stocks to 1 right now. I'm not sure this was the call right now. Is Dizzy tries to stall off ledge, but doesn't quite get the spacing right.
Yeah, the side Bs off stage are not going to help him get back, but Yaliso, that's the opening he might need. But again, it's like you said, Dizzy's just done such a good job of surviving these high percents, and it feels like Yaliso is less trigger happy than some of his teammates, and it almost feels like it's biting him this set, because he has some openings, but just hasn't gotten the spacing right, hasn't pulled the trigger early enough on some of those openings, and that slight bit of hesitation has allowed Dizzy to survive.
Survive and thrive so far. I mean, they're fishing for that up smash, and I don't blame them. It's an incredibly powerful move. Yaliso's gonna get around it though, and they're able to interrupt that side B with a perfect tornado. Don't want to deal with that at all. And they're trying to go the kids approach to go off stage with the Sora, and oh! Finished right there, just as it looked like they might be making a comeback. None of that, not today, is what they will be saying, and well, Dizzy is going to maintain a lead for the time being, Soy.
Yeah, no, solid stuff to Dizzy there, and I like that last play. Once you land that freeze onto Yaliso on that platform, rather than try and go for damage because he's already at a high percent, rather than try and read whenever he's going to mash out, just get under him. It almost looked like he was going to opt for some damage by getting onto that platform, but instead at the last second gets back down underneath him, land that tipper up smash, and just secure that stock. Go for the kill, because even if you don't get it, he's going to be off stage at high percents either way. So smart play there from Dizzy, especially throughout that game number 1. Really, the only hiccup was that SD.
Yeah, and that SD did hit kind of hard. It hurts to see. I feel like maybe Yaliso just feels more confident in their kill confirms. Like they just like they wanted to use the tornado into up air, up air into up B. I mean, it's a good idea in theory, but if you're not hitting those kill confirms, I mean, how many times did we see the tornado connect into no damage? I mean, they aren't even able to scoop up that Sora, but they're going to be sticking it out. Oh, no. They are actually going over to the Mii Gunner. Okay. I mean, your back's against the wall. Might as well show what you got.
Yeah, curious to see how this works, too, because I think the spacing is a little kind of awkward to deal with, right? You have these... you can occupy a certain space, with things like the forward air and back air, but I think the sword of Sora still can contest with it pretty even.
Yeah, they're really stuffing out Yaliso's options off ledge, where you don't really have a lot of movement options, but able to get the good up B spacing, survive for the time being. The parry on that missile is going to give Dizzy an opportunity to get right back into the fray.
Dizzy doing a great job of pressuring off stage, making sure he's got that thunder ready, covering Yaliso's options, forcing him into one option specifically, and Yaliso able to take it and get back to stage, and now, with a percent lead and an opening, has Dizzy along the ledge. Great get-up attack.
Yeah, knocking back that mine saying no. takes these backsies. I don't want to have to deal with that, as the up the other shield is not going to save you much time there. Lisa's movement is able to net them that charge shot, but now they've got to try and land. Able to air dodge through the Thundaga, not wanting to try and contest that. I mean, why would you? And they're just going for simple bread and butters, 20%. That's all Me Gunner can really get at these percents.
And that dash attack will kill. So first stock off the board of Yaliso, but I was about to commend him for being able to hold on to such a high percent. But Dizzy, again, finding the one opening he really needs to get some damage and and get himself on the board here. But look at the spacing Yaliso has right now, doing a great job of keeping Dizzy out.
You could see Dizzy was terrified to try and take center stage. It took them a full 10 seconds to even get to the center platform, but they did it without getting hit. And that's the important part if you really think about it. Because you can throw out all the projectiles if you want. If you're losing ground, it doesn't matter. As Yaliso, this huge lead they had, one neutral win after another, is slowly evaporating. Thundaga sends them up. But they're able to use some smart upbeat positioning to land safe and sound. If they're able to get this stock right now, though, maybe not.
That first stock was taken with a jumped charge shot from Yaliso, and I think he's looking for it again here because the way Dizzy's been playing, that grounded game is so dangerous, and Dizzy's been using a lot of jumps to try and get in onto Yaliso.
Fishing for the back airs right now, but they're not going to quite find them. As Yaliso, is able to finally call out a missed spacing right there with that up smash, or forward smash rather. Now, the issue of getting back to ledge. Sora can hover out there for a while, but you don't want to go too deep against the Me Gunner, especially when they have such a fast recovery. Tech chase on the platform right now, but Yaliso not quite in position to punish it, so they rocket over there to punish it. Trying to recover, and they manage to make it to ledge, but getting off state ledge against Sora with his arsenal of, well, tricks, trinkets, gadgets, it can be a real struggle. I love not overcommitting, though, with that side B. It's so tempting, but on shield, it ain't the safest thing in the world.
And Yaliso's movement, it feels like it's on point, but also Dizzy is starting to realize where Yaliso wants to go. Does manage to get that back air and clean up that second stock. So Yaliso now with his back against the wall in his last stock, but he does have a little bit of a percent lead. Dizzy slowly finding ways in on this projectile game.
Yeah, and they're just smacking back these mines at this point. With the disjoint, you don't have to worry about any trades. I've only seen them get caught by the mine once, trying to trade with it. As you can see, Yaliso maybe starting to get a little shaky here, just random spot dodges, but the charge shot off ledge will give him a lot more room to breathe, room to calm down, refocus, and fish for the kill. With an air, 3-hit combo, nullifying that missile. Yaliso staying above Sora for the most part, but they eventually get the landing there by being confusing about how they're going to be going down. Charge shot not going to connect either, though. Dizzy making them work so hard for it, and they might not get it at all. Until that up smash comes in. Finishing them off with a little rainbow of explosions. Thanks for running it back right there in the victory screen. Demonstrating what I'm talking about, as it is 1-1 right now. Iona College, another point on the board. They have a maybe winnable game if they're able to get another 3, but it's, I mean, Willem and Mary, I don't think they're going to be getting too stocked at all. Make me eat my words, though, Yaliso. Put Iona on the board.
Yeah, no, Yaliso did a great job in that second matchup, but you saw just how tough it was for Yaliso. Sora, as a character, just covers so much space, and Dizzy made himself so hard to track down. There were times, like you saw, when Dizzy really struggled with the projectile game, but the second Yaliso was at those high percents, Dizzy was just kind of in lockdown mode, and Yaliso was forced to use that tricky movement numerous times to jump from ledge, to get to center stage, to go all the way across just to get, 2 seconds worth of charge shot in. And it was so taxing, I feel like, for Yaliso, because that game just got drawn out longer and longer. And it does play to his advantage, but it is just so difficult to play at that pace that perfectly for such a long period of time. And I think Yaliso now he's kind of got an idea of Dizzy now I think kind of has an idea of what he's going up against. So Yaliso is going to have to find that next gear here in game number 3 if he wants to take home this specific set.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, how hard it is to maintain that. But also there's the fact that it is good. I think it is optimal. It's not that good though. And ultimately, if all you're doing with your movement is putting yourself in more danger by being threatening, eventually people are going to see through the threat and be like, oh wait, they're way more vulnerable when they land on top of me and shield. So let me figure out how to do that. As that single super missile did 18%, I had no idea. Yeah, a much more traditional me gunner right off the bat to try and kind of throw Dizzy off, because if you're only doing the crazy movement, then it's going to hurt you.
A little bit of a percent lead here for Yaliso, but Dizzy with a little bit of stage control himself and keeping Yaliso in the corner. This is where really the game I think could be won and lost, is when Yaliso is in the corner. How does he get out? How does he use that movement? Can Dizzy force him to the edges and force Yaliso to make a play? Because you've only got so many options when you're in the corner like that.
Yeah, they get taken away so fast. As with the dash attack, Yaliso is able to get him off stage. Dizzy at a higher percent, but it really feels like they're controlling the pace of the match for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Good grab to get Dizzy off stage. And that charge shot, too, I think is going to be so vital. Yaliso has not really used it so far a ton. This matchup hasn't really charged it up. He's just used it for quick bursts. But it was so prominent in game number 2. That missile connecting through the projectile of Dizzy, and so stock number 1 off the board.
Yeah. Oh, nice board smash there, swing batter, but I feel like Yaliso realized in that first interaction that the super missile can actually go through the fireball, and that changed the entire pace of the match. That gave Yaliso a grounded approach option. They don't always have to approach diagonally from the air with their forward air. And there's that little bit of tech right there, turning around in the air and then instantly using the forward air to reposition. That's nice. But you need more than that. You need a way to get in. The super missile, again, just beating out everything that they want to do.
It's really been, like you said, the difference maker here in this game. Excuse me, and Yaliso with a big percent lead, and that forward smash, that's going to do a lot of damage and knock Dizzy off stage. Another missile again. Dizzy's going to be able to just barely make it back, but now Yaliso's got everything set up.
Yaliso just slipping and sliding around center stage, but it's no ice rink. Sora puts you in check. But Daga going to cover your approach back to stage, making sure there's no aggressive edge guard, but going for one little jump off ledge. Well, Yaliso's ready to cover that one. Now underneath the platform, Yaliso running amok, trying to make their way back to stage. And that recovery, I admire it for its versatility. There are some recoveries that Gunner have that kill at 0 if you connect them off stage, but why would you go for the high risk when you can just make sure that you're not getting gimped? I mean, that's what makes Sora so good in many scenarios. Or just use the up B as an approach option. What? Yaliso? Okay.
I'm not sure if that was planned, but it worked out in the end. Does eat a little bit of percent from that counter to get him off stage, but Yaliso putting in work this stock, just not giving Dizzy anything easy. And again, that missile, huge. And I feel like now the challenge for Yaliso is, can he, play patient? He doesn't want to pull the trigger here. Any percent he gets could be massive.
As they hit that up air. He is still well aware of the position there. Throwing out the super missile all the way across. Not going to kill quite yet, though. Opportunity right here, though. The charge shot against the world. Yaliso 2 stocks. Dizzy on last hit. This could be it. The reversal with the Mead Gunner. And with a final bit of explosion, the red flames clear, and Yaliso is going to be your victor right now over the Sora of Dizzy. And wow, that really wasn't something I saw coming, Soy.
No, Dizzy has been so consistent this year for William and Mary. He's been one of the heavy hitters. When he finds victories, they are often massive victories, 6-7 points a week often. But that's a couple of weeks now. He has been shut down on this Sora, and well done to Yaliso. A much needed victory for Iona. And it goes to show, the depth of this roster. The Gales trust their team more so than I feel like a lot of other teams, because they're willing to put their heavy hitters in first. They're saying our top 5 players are very talented and can keep up here. So that's a huge victory for Yaliso.
Yeah, 100%. And I was kind of worried. You called it out that their movement was being called out hard by, it's not a strictly optimal way to move. It's neat and all. It's really neat, but it's just a different way to approach. I called out the diagonal angle. That's how they're getting in there. But that doesn't change who Gunner is fundamentally as a character. They're not a scrapper. They don't have those fast aerials, those fast get-off-me tools that many other zoners do. So what do? Well, they fall in from the top and get a little bit of damage, but then they throw a super missile out on the ground and approach through your projectiles and follow you off stage once it hits. It's those little mix-ups like that, Soy, that turn Me Gunner into a true, unconventional, uncatchable threat at times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you also pointed out that side B, the missile, did so much work. And I think you're absolutely right. The second he realized, hey, this projectile wins, this projectile beats out Sora's options, it, like you said, completely changed the dynamic of the game. And Dizzy could not find an answer fast enough. Yaliso, you had that from game number 2. You saw he had all that pressure between the charge shot, dash attack. He was hunting for a kill move towards the end of that game, and he finally found it with the up smash in game number 2. In game number 3, once he started winning neutral with that missile, now things become even scarier, right? Because now not only are you struggling in neutral, but you still have to worry about all those options. You still have to worry about dash attack. You still have to worry about forward smash. You still have to worry about the missile itself, almost nearly taking the stock at the end of that third match. So credit where credit's due to Yaliso for adapting well and overcoming in this set.
Yeah, as moving on, Iona College, they're gonna need this win to have any real hope. If you drop even the minimum amount of points, I think it's game over, right? You can get up to 14. Yeah, it's game over. So you don't want to do that. They are going to be going up against a sub, though, from William and Mary, not one of the main roster. It's going to be Drengotter, who I have not seen yet, but I do know they play Bowser and Roy from the previous season. The thing about them, Soy, Drengotter is going up against Kratos, the God Slayer himself. So, you got God in the name. I don't want to say it's a done deal, but, come on.
Yeah, no, yeah, like you said, Drengotter, I was about to say boy, and but it's Bowser and Roy, and he's only played in one game this year so far, but he did win the set that he was in. So, like you said, not a typical name to the William and Mary roster, but we've talked about it before. William and Mary, it feels like the depth of this roster just can continue on and on for days at times, and so to put him in here, This is, I think, if you're William and Mary, you have the lead, and if you win this set, you win your match. So this is, I think, the perfect time to kind of experiment. Let your bench players get some time into this pressure cooker situation, because Iona, their back's against the wall here. They need to find a victory, and we'll see what they can we'll see what they can do here.
As I am just real quick checking in, I don't believe we've seen Kratos at all yet, have we, Soy?
No, this will be his first appearance as well.
And Iona's a new school, so this is their first support appearance in the entirety of the EGFC. We know a little bit of Drengotter, but it's not. I do not mean to harp on Iona College, but it really has been Yaliso, Moat, and Kibbs being the heavy hitters. And then Rat King comes in from behind. I hope we get to see Rat King so you know what I'm talking about. But when I say comes in from behind, I mean it comes like in with a steel chair. It feels like Rat King means whoever is going to make the opponent the most angry in that given moment. Frankly, inspirational. But it works. And I think Rat King might have one of the best records out of everyone on Iona. You'd have to double check me on that. You're the numbers guy, Soy, but Rat King does not feel like one of the heavy hitters at times, but they are.
Mm-hmm. They are 3-1 on the season, and it's like you said, they've got this whole gauntlet of characters, but they're not the typical characters that you'd think you'd see. We've seen Rat King go Bowser Jr., King K. Rool, and Little Mac, which, I mean, we've seen very minimal King K. Rools here in the EGF. We've seen some Bowser Jr.'s now on the rise here, but Little Mac, we've almost never seen before, and his Little Mac, I think, is his most proficient. He's 2-0 on the character.
Yes, Drengotter is going to be going the Bowser, not the Roy, not opting for the Swordy Ditto against this Crom. Now, Bowser is tough to fight at lower percent at times, a lot of trades. Crom's single hits are strong enough. I don't think you're going to worry about many of those trades. The landing there is not going to do anything. Just run straight in for the grab. You get the grab combo. 30% though. Not a ton for a Bowser combo. Able to start racking it up though once they land these nairs. Once Kratos is able to get the hitboxes out, it becomes a lot harder. Flame Breath is going to keep you off stage for a while.
I like that idea too from Drengotter to use the down tilt to try and catch Roy on his recovery on his way up. Just didn't quite have the spacing right, and it allows Kratos to survive here. But that should be the stock. Finds the down B, and that's the first stock of Kratos off the board.
And that's an extraordinarily hard call out right there, Troy. I mean, well, I guess it's not too bad because you get the shield break anyway, but catching the roll right there with the forward smash, you tell Kratos is trying to move, trying to keep Iona on the board right there, falling up there, not going to connect. Just looking for a little bit more than just jabs, just falling up there. Because Trom can get some... Oh, that down B again, Drengotter? Drengotter! Looking more like a wrestler than Bowser. I mean, this is... They're just getting chokeslammed. Like, that's what I'm seeing.
No, I'm with you. I'm actually shocked too, because it feels like Kratos should, have these options to try and deal with the big body of Bowser, but Drengotter just not afraid to swing away, and he's finding these hits too, just dealing so much damage. Kratos already at 63. I mean, this is kill percent for Crom.
Is now... Yeah, the hard call out on that down B. You knew it was coming. You knew they loved it. Side B is not going to be enough to finish off the stock in the forward air. It's all going to be taking you right off the side. It's Drengotter. Starts with points on the board. It looked a little shaky there in the very beginning when it It looked like Kratos might be getting a lot of a lead, but they weren't able to keep it up. Not forever.
Yeah, and it's like you said, those callouts with the down B, and I really do gotta appreciate the start of that match too, where like you said, Kratos, it felt like he might have had the advantage at the very beginning, but then Drengotter just said, okay, this is the type of player I'm gonna deal with. This is what this character wants to do. Adapt and overcome. And it was almost like he flipped a switch and said, okay, shield up B, shield grab. And if you think that swinging on the shield's a little bit too dangerous, use that down B, use a little bit of that armor to get him out of the way. And it ended up working out there. And I think part of it too was Final Destination. I often talk about that stage and how double-edged sword it is. But I mean, it really came to fruition there, because the second someone was in disadvantage, we've talked about it in the past. Disadvantage on that stage is just so rough to overcome, and Drengar did a better job of it that match, I think, just exploiting the weaknesses.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as that first multi-hit of Nair connected, the pace of the game was forever changed. Because I was talking about it, like, oh, you get the up throw forward air. I mean, that's baby stuff, and then you were in disadvantage for the entire rest of the game, because you didn't recover well from that first throw combo. And then you're getting naired, and then you're getting naired, and then you're downbeat, you're dead. Okay, you come back, you manage to get a roll read on the forward smash, but then you're still in disadvantage when they're coming down with invincibility, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Drengar took his one or two advantages that he found and were able to really run away with them. So as we get ready for game number 2, I feel like the play from Kratos here is just play a little bit more patient. I feel like it's very easy against a big body like Bowser to just say, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to find my hits. I can get this character up to high percents, and then Crom's got some kill power under his belt. He can find a way to take stocks against this character, but Drengotter was just ready for it, played a little bit more patient that match, and was able to really take advantage of all the overextensions. So I think for Kratos, take a page out of Drengotter's book. Play a little bit more patient.
Yeah, as I feel like all right. If you're Chrom, you want to try and keep Bowser at ledge, because I feel like in a scramble situation, Bowser shouldn't win on paper, but does in theory. And that's just because if you're not frame perfect with how you're doing stuff, you're going to be called out by the disjointed down air. You're going to be called out by the sudden down B. And in those scrambles, the heavier hitting options are so much better than just, like, even though the jab is technically better, and I would love to see more of that jab converted into more stuff, it's just not the absolute best, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. Those scramble situations, like you said, the harder hitting move tends to work better.
Okay.
And an interesting character switch, to say the least.
Okay. So we've got the King DDD online. We got a heavy bout between the two kings themselves, but off the bat, it's, I was about to say Koopa Kingdom repping its leader right, but Kratos not really too bothered. They get the double Gordo hit, but that's the main advantage you're afforded, as you're able to not quite snap to ledge. Good timing on that Flame Breath.
That should be the stock too. Yeah, that side B going to seal it away. That Flame Breath just does so much work. We've talked about it in the past, how much damage it can do, and using it to stop Kratos from recovering was massive there. Got him up to that kill percent, and look at this, just one quick combo up to 65. That up smash nearly killing.
Yeah, and that forward smash not going to do it. And this DDD does look clean. The movement is there, but yeah, that was really nice. Threatening all the space in front of Drengotter with so many aerials, through the Flame Breath, through the Gordo. And then what they do is they catch the jump up because they just demonstrated, oh, it's not safe to be in front of you.
Yeah, very smart from the side of Kratos. And now he's... Ooh, that's a good forward air from Drengater. I was going to say, Kratos, the struggle here was, could he hold on to that stock? And the answer was no. Drengater just quickly finding an opening and getting him onto his last stock. And now the challenge here once again for Kratos, can you find a way to quickly respond?
Yeah, and just going for the hard read on this ledge trap, using the low-ish end lag on the forward smash to get some mileage going, but the grab is going to be an opportunity. Behind the window, going up to avoid that forward air. Interesting, but it works out. Not forward smash, not going to connect either, just going for the juggle. But again, Drengater seems one step ahead. Able to snap the ledge that time, the flame's not pushing off the edge. The forward air off that parry is going to be enough. Make things a little uncomfortable, a little hairy.
That nearly was the stock, and Drengater's done a really good job so far of catching landings. But speaking of, ooh, drag down up air into up tilt. Last stock scenario here. What a stock for Kratos to take.
And we saw some enormous combos on stock 1, but I feel like Drengater, yeah, not going to let that happen. It was such a specific setup. DDD is a heavy hitter, a heavy liver, but up against the king of heavyweights himself, you didn't stand a chance. As Drengater kind of seals it away. There's no way Iona College can really come back after that one. They had a good run. They really did. They brought it close. This is the most game 3s I think I've seen in all of EGFC. They really did not want to let it go, but William and Mary, you need a different kind of stamina and a different kind of endurance to really clutch out against them.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about depth in the roster all the time, but for William and Mary, they are one of those teams that last year they were, I think, only 2 regular season losses all season long. They were part of that terrifying trio that stood atop the EGF for what felt like an eternity, since really week 1. And, this was the test for Iona, right? A 2-3 team on the rise with a fairly new roster. Could they compete with this championship caliber? And the answer was, well, they've put up a fight. They pushed many games to game 3. They got points on the board. They're not being shut out. It was just that extra gear, that extra little test that William and Mary found in this set.
As now to wrap up this game, it is going to be loser coming in. Like we said, I don't think you need to send in Racking. You don't need to give up any information or what character Racking is whipping out this time. I have to assume it's something new. If I had to take bets, I'd say Dr. Mario. I think Dr. Mario is a very them character, that or Incineroar, but we're not going to see it either way. It's going to be loser coming in. On the Pikachu, loser's been looking better. They've actually won a lot of their sets, but it's always been down to the wire. Loser is a very clutch player because they let it get clutch. They don't stomp their opponent by any means. It is literally the most nail biter of nail biters. And going up against Claytron, well, it's not going to be the easiest.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup too, because we saw Claytron go up against Mr. L. I believe it was way back in week 1 or 2 of this season. So Claytron's got some Pikachu matchup experience here at the EGF, and loser, a different kind of Pikachu than Mr. L, but to have that matchup experience in the back pocket is interesting to note headed into this set.
All right, now I would love to see, again, I feel like the edge guarding is the main creme de la crop for Pikachu at a medium-ish level. The big combos, I don't expect you to instantly have those all the way down, but I mean, there's more to Pikachu than meets the eye. I feel like if you're just able to land some more back airs at low percents, get them off stage, and then fish for one of your many lingering hitboxes, that is all you really need to finish off a good 70% of the characters in the entire game.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's something that Loser, like we said, has not. It hasn't come to fruition yet, right? He hasn't gotten that to quite that level yet. He can find those one or two stray hit combos, but getting the full length combo is something we really haven't seen from him. Something when he takes a stock, it is usually off of something like a hard read, right? Like catching a landing with forward smash, catching a landing with down smash, reading a roll from ledge, something along those lines. And while that's good for him to take those stocks, it's, the fact that it gets to that scenario in the first place is what is so concerning with Loser. So if he can find a way to, like you said, take those stocks a little bit earlier, find one of those lingering hitboxes that has that kind of kill power on it, that's the growth we're looking to see here from Loser.
And once again, another Pokemon battle, the Mewtwo. Gonna struggle a little bit, especially as the dash back can be caught so easily. Oh, tries to bait them in with the taunt right there. Immediately Loser losing the neutral just a little bit, as Playtron uses those tremendous hitboxes to space out the rat. But he's trying to say, hey, my name's better than yours in this game at least. Back air connecting, not going to be enough. Fishing for the grabs. That's a curious side view right there, but bouncing off the shield actually is not that punishable.
Yeah, good avoidance there from Loser. His percent's still relatively even, but that forward air gonna put a lot of pressure here on Loser. Mewtwo has a surprising amount of kill power, especially on a light character like Pikachu. Could potentially take stocks early. The problem is, again, tracking this character down. Nearly finding that forward air back throw, not going to do it quite yet.
The curious thing I'm looking for is, when is the life bar going to come out? Because Mewtwo, quite a few kill throws, especially up throw, as you don't even need it with that one right there. Or they're going to finish them off, and low percents, you are actually going to hang on to the Shadow Ball as well. Full charge, yeah. Catches them in the tech situation right there with that Shadow Ball. Not enough to fully secure anything more than a nice 35%, which ain't bad at all for a projectile.
Now, now you can tell Loser is kind of hunting for an opening, looking for a way to not only get a little bit more percent on, but to find a way to get this kill and get things back to even. But he's eaten so much percent for it. Playtron is doing a good job of punishing any small overextensions.
Yeah, and using, I mean, it's supposed to be Pikachu who controls the ground game with the Thunder Jolts, but the liberal use of the side B going unpunished really makes it difficult for Loser to make use of those Thunder Jolts. So instead, it's the uncharged Shadow Balls that have really been making it hard for anyone to approach, as Loser is able to get them off stage, but delaying for a long time. Eventually, it's the roll read with the forward smash that finishes them, but not a great start, especially as that uncharged Shadow Ball leads into the forward tilt. You're going to survive from now. So eventually the up throw will finish off Loser.
Yeah, that was solid from Claytron. I mean, it's like you said, the Shadow Ball is just doing so much work, and it's not the full charged one too. It's just the quick, short bursts that Loser is really struggling with. And the best part for Claytron is that if the Shadow Ball connects, it can do so much work for him. He can follow up with a grab, he can follow up with dash attack, depending on what he wants and what percent Pikachu is at in the first place. It just allows for so many openings, but there, the quick forward tilt, snuffing out Claytron's next option on that follow-up.
Okay, Loser able to claw their way back into this one with that up air into forward air, 85% right now, and you're off stage. interrupting that recovery again and again, but the T-Jolt only lasts for so long, but it eventually messes up Claytron just a little bit. Now an opportunity, but look at that. Claytron was following them all the way off, and now they're at ledge. Back air going to be carrying them, but goes for the drag down grab instead of another back air. That's going to cost you.
Good downer to get out of that combo, but now he's still in trouble off stage. Gets an opening for some damage. Claytron falls through, though, and things go back to neutral.
Wait on that grab right there, making it tricky what you're going to do until you catch that air dodge. The game show right there. Catch that air dodge with the up smash. The swirling galaxy going to finish off Pikachu. As William Mary gets another point on the board for that one, and yeah. Loser was able to get that surprisingly close in the end after how it started. But in the end, it felt like a no-nonsense, like, okay, let me schmix you real quick. Let me down throw. Let's see what you do.
And that was good, too, by Claytron as well, because you think about all the times that, how many grabs did Claytron get in that match? And how many times did he follow up with something like forward air or nair, an aerial to follow up? So the air dodge, you would think for Loser, was smart, because typically that's what he does in that scenario. He goes for the forward air, he goes for the neutral air. But Claytron instead holds that up smash in his back pocket and eventually says, okay, Pikachu's at roughly kill percent. Let's see if this one lands. And, it was a home run hit.
Yeah, 100%. And now I'm actually curious to see, because I feel like Claytron is getting a better read on what Loser likes to do off stage. And, well, there's some room for some fun shenanigans there. Mewtwo can go deep, as you saw with the back air into back air and the back air off stage. It didn't connect. But if you are able to follow Pikachu that deep before he can really figure out what's happening, you can get some really early kills. Pikachu is not tremendously light, but still pretty up there. So I would love to see more of those callouts. And there's another move that I love to see Mewtwo players use. The low end lag of down smash gives you so many opportunities. It doesn't seem like Claytron's style too much, but as a ledge trap tool, it's bad in the slightest.
Lilat making a rare appearance here in game number 2. And, this is Pikachu's playground. I think every Pikachu knows this stage inside and out. So I'm curious to see how Claytron adapts to the stage.
Yeah, being dragged down onto that platform is not the best for them right off the bat, but able to hold on, and the tech chase off of that nair does give them, well, the lead back. And they're trying to go off stage with the back air, but the very low recoveries from Loser aren't really making it happen.
I actually like the idea there to go for up throw Thunder. Even though the platform was most likely going to be in the way, it throws out the threat on Claytron. Says, hey, you're on notice. This is still something I have in my pocket. We'll use this set.
Oh, but look at that, just running away, not even wanting to shield that uncharged Shadow Ball, because you know what it could lead to as the side B on stage. They'll send Claytron off, but they're not going to get gimped by those projectiles this time. Able to use that down smash to get the short hop back, but no follow-up right there, as their projectiles are interrupted by the slants.
What
nice
a tech by
there.
Claytron.
Up throw, actually going to kill.
That was unfortunate for Loser. He only did the first dash of quick attack. Only the first angle of up B. Is able to answer right back there with the up throw at a high percent to kill off Claytron, so things back to even. But another kind of mistake from Loser in neutral that just allows Claytron to put the pressure on.
Runs straight in with the nair into the forward air, dragging down, but not going to get a follow-up. Oh, Pikachu. Off stage like that, that's, well, their bread and butter, but it makes it feel so threatening when Claytron is out there with them.
Good forward air. Can't quite catch the recovery. Good drift down there from Claytron to make sure he falls through that platform and doesn't get caught.
Forward tilt on ledge isn't going to be quite enough for Claytron, but using that nice big up tilt to really make Loser afraid to go for any options, and the tech on platform going to be punished with the hard Shadow Claw. Nair going to send them off. Not going to be enough quite yet, though, as the landing Nair is punished hard right there. Not quite like a Pikachu's, my friend. Oh, just get out of here. Be gone. That's what Mewtwo's throws feel like when you just get banished.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking that second stock off the board, a Loser, and Loser's still looking for a way back here. Has Claytron a high percent? Big grab, no throw. Caught him with the up air instead after that down air missed. Another chance at an opening, but Claytron doing a great job of surviving here.
They're right there, but they keep getting caught by that disjointed side B. The 2-frame with Thunder? Fix the tail hitbox. I'm done asking.
I'm in shock that that worked. I mean, I know it looked like Claytron had the right idea too, just up B back to ledge, and still a Loser able to catch him out. And now with a chance here, gets a combo.
Yeah, not able to fully drag down with that forward air, and now try to get the tech chase right there, but you're on the wrong side. Jab it at nothing but air, which is exactly where Pikachu finds himself tumbling after that final forward tilt. Claytron gonna get the 2-0 over Loser. Loser in the Pokemon battle kept it close, but when your opponent's as legendary as that in every sense of the word, there's not much you can do. Gonna be finished off there 6-19 for William and Mary, and a very good showing indeed from Iona, but showing also that they're not quite at the caliber. Like I said, the tools are all there, but not quite as sharpened as they could be to get the upset that you want.
Yeah, Iona fall here to 2-4, but again, it's a good showing, right? The fact that they're able to take some games, take a set, keep things relatively close with these guys is a good sign. The building blocks for this team are there, and it just is a matter of if they can all show up in spades on game day. And William and Mary, this was a kind of a win. You know, this felt like a trap game for them, where you're coming off of a win against an undefeated Maris team. You're 4-1. You feel like you could hit cruise control, but here come this up and coming Iona roster. This was a good job by the depth of William and Mary to show, hey, we all came here to play today. We were able to clutch this one out.
Yeah, and we can ask them more about how they clutched that out and the depths of that roster, because we've got Drengotter, the sub from William and Mary, coming in to tell us a little bit more about the inner workings of the team. So don't go anywhere. In just a little bit, we will be back with an interview with a representative from William and Mary. Welcome back, everybody, to the EGFC. We're back here with Drengoder from William and Mary after that win. How you doing, Drengoder?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming, because you definitely came out of nowhere to put on a good show. I think, I'm double-checking. Actually, I don't have time to check. Is this your first match in this season of EGFC?
It's actually my second, but yeah, I haven't gotten to play that many because Bowser's kind of an iffy character. I think a lot of bad matchups there, and the team played a bit safe, I think.
Yeah, like, that is true. A lot of combo-heavy characters and a lot of neutral-based characters can really, have their way with you. So, like, how do you feel your, like, unconventional character fits on the team?
Well, I think that in general, obviously, he does have some really bad matchups, but Bowser's actually got a pretty decent matchup spread overall, such that I feel comfortable against probably about 3/4 of the roster or so, even though he has some -1 matchups against quite a few of them. But yeah, even though he might have some technically bad matchups, a ton of people just aren't ready for what Bowser can do, because he has a lot of options at any given time. He's quite fast on the ground, in the air. He's got that really good up the shield, which can be abused sometimes. So despite technically not having a good matchup on paper, it can really swing in my favor a lot of the time if I play it right.
Yeah, we definitely saw that. I mean, one landing there and the entire pace of the match was changed. And, like, that instant reversal factor, you seem to be a master of it.
Yeah.
So, my question for you, Drengoder, through 2 games, you are 2-0. What do you think is your biggest strength as a player on the here in the EGF?
Well, I think I'm just really good at adapting to whatever the matchup throws at me. Like, I wasn't able to rewatch the entire VOD with your guys' commentary yet, but you guys mentioned how I started off losing in that matchup against Chrom, because yeah, I was kind of feeling my way out. Obviously Chrom is not the best matchup for me, although it is definitely doable. So I started off playing it a bit safe, and then once I felt I had that, I had his what do you call it? Just his patterns down. I started going for it. I started going for those reads, the bit more risky things like landing with Nair, which can be called out pretty hard. And yeah, so once I get those patterns down, my opponent's strategies, I can really go hard on them. And Bowser, with his insane speed and damage output, can just completely turn around the match at any given time.
Yeah, and we did definitely see that, but I actually am curious. This is your opportunity to get out there with being as PG as you can. You mentioned there are some matchups that do feel unplayable for Bowser. Like, what are some matchups that we will never see you in? Like, they'll always be sticking with, like, the main roster.
Well, a ton of the top tiers, they're basically unwinnable. You have, your Pikachus, your Robs, your really heavy zoners. Those guys can be almost impossible to play around. Even like DDD, for instance, I was a little scared when I saw that switch, because even though it's a fairly even matchup, that Gordo can be really hard to play around. So if you have a fast character and I'm a big target, that can just be a huge issue sometimes. And another big problem is being edge guarded. Obviously, not too many recovery mix-ups for Bowser. So if the character's got a good ledge trapping or edge guarding game, it can really be over before it starts. So we try to avoid that.
Yeah, well, I mean, status as a very, very good sub, a very good counter pick on William and Mary ain't bad, and I'm glad you found your niche.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Not too often, but when I do, I try to give it my best. 2-0 so far, yeah.
So you guys are now 5-1 on the season. You guys continue this kind of MAC gauntlet run. Next week, you guys get Canisius College. What is the game plan? What does the preparation look like for William and Mary?
So, I personally don't know anything about this college yet. I will probably forget their name in the next 5 minutes. But in general, we have practice 2 times a week where we get together in person or online, and we play matches against each other, try to iron out our weaknesses and figure out different matchups. And then every Monday, the night before the game, we go back and look at the team we're facing, their play from last week, their game last week. So we get an idea of their play styles, their characters, and then we kind of make a matchup plan. We think, okay, when they send in this character, when they send in this player, we're going to send in our counter pick to them. And if we don't know who they're sending in yet, we'll probably just send in one of our really heavy hitters like Outer Rim or North, because we can be pretty sure that they'll be able to handle anything that the other team can throw at them.
Hey, that confidence, that's good to hear, especially after, well, you just demonstrated why you have it. So congrats on the win, and thank you once again for coming in for this interview, Drengoder.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. And with that, we're going to wrap up that fun matchup and get into another one in just a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have a very brief break. But when we come back, we'll have another match here on EGFC.